Question 9, different shirt. The cubic polynomial f of x is defined by f of x is 4x cubed minus 7x minus 3. Find the remainder when f of x is divided by x minus 2. So we know by now that we're not going to go into that crazy route of trying to do long division, although we could do, but we don't need to do long division. All we need to do to find the remainder when it's divided by x minus 2 is to sub 2 into the equation, to evaluate f of 2. F of 2 would be 4 times 2 cubed minus 7 times 2 minus 3, which gives us 4 times 8, take away 14, take away 3, which is good, 15. Thank you very much. Great 2 marks. Part 2. Show that 2x plus 1 is a factor of f of x, and hence factorise f of x completely. Again, we don't have to use long division, unless we really, really want to. To show that it's a factor, what we would have to evaluate is the x value that makes that bracket 0. So that if 2x plus 1 is 0, x is minus a half. So we need to sub in negative a half into our equation. And do 4 times minus a half cubed, minus 7 times negative a half, minus 3. And all that really matters is that we do enough in this to show that this is 0. This would be, if we look through what we've got here, this is 4 times minus an eighth, so that's negative a half, plus 7 halves, minus 3, well of course as we know that's minus a half plus 7 halves is 6 halves, which is 3, take away 3 is 0. Therefore 2x plus 1 is a factor. Great. Okay, we now have a choice, because now we need to find the other factors, hence factorise f of x completely. And there's 2 things we could do. If you really like long division, then you could do long division. You have to be careful though, because if you're doing long division, this is not how I'm going to do this, but if you do long division, you're doing 2x plus 1 into 4x cubed. And then remember that the way long division works is all about the structure of our columns. And the columns are really important. When you write a number, when you write 1093, you need to include the fact that there are no hundreds in 1093. Because if you don't, you end up writing 1093 like that. And people wouldn't recognise that that's 1093. The same idea goes here. We have no x squares in our expression, like no hundreds in 1093. So in order to get the columns to work out, we're going to put 0x squared in there, minus 7x, minus 3. And now when we do the structure, taking things away, it will work out. Do you remember that? I'm not going to do that right now, because I would do this by saying we've got 4x cubed minus 7x minus 3 is 2x plus 1 times something. And all I need to do is to get what's in here. And in here, well, to make 4x cubed, I must multiply 2x by 2x squared. So there must be a 2x squared at the start. To make minus 3 at the end, I must do plus 1 times minus 3. And in this question I also have, well, I've got 0x squareds. At the moment, I'm getting plus 2x squareds, so that times that has to take me back to 0. If that gives me plus 2, that must give me minus 2x squared. 2x times minus x will give me minus 2x squared. Let's check it for the minus 7x. That would give me minus 6x. That would give me another minus 1x. So that's the minus 7x I wanted. So that's what we were supposed to be getting. That's, if you'd done your long division, you would have got a remainder of 0. You would have got 2x squared minus x minus 3 on the top. Now we're going to factorise this if we can. And it's going to give us 2x plus 1 times, well, it does factorise, doesn't it? It must be 2x and x there and there. And it must be 1 and 3. And if we have the which way does it go? The a 1 there and a 3 there, that would work, wouldn't it? And that would make it that one a plus and that one a minus. Is that right? 2x squared minus 3x, sorry, minus 2x plus 3x is going to give us the wrong way around. Pretend that didn't happen, and write that as being minus and plus. Have I fixed it? Good. Right. One thing that a few of you did when I was marking this is you then went on to say x equals minus a half, x equals 3 over 2, x equals minus 1. But the question didn't ask us to do that, did it? The question said fully factorise completely. So that is your final answer. That's as far as they want you to go, and then to stop. If you'd done the long division, you would have got 2x squared minus x minus 3 on the top, and then you would have had to factorise that to get these two last brackets. Right, so now where does the question go? Well, now it says, solve the equation 4 cos cubed theta minus 7 cos theta minus 3 is 0. Now this looks like it's completely different, but remember OCR, the way that they will structure the questions, this is a part 3, not a part B or part C. That because it's parts 1, 2 and 3, that means there's a flow between them, they're interconnected. So this must be related to what we've just done, and we're supposed to recognise that that 4 cos cubed minus 7 cos theta minus 3 equals 0 relates very much to the equation that we've just done. If x equals cos theta, then it's the equation 4x cubed minus 7x minus 3. That equation factorises, because we've just done it, 2x plus 1, 2x minus 3, x plus 1, which has roots of x being minus a half, x being 3 over 2, and x being negative 1. Because we've just said we've replaced cos theta with x. So really this is cos theta is minus a half, cos theta is 3 over 2, and cos theta is minus 1. So we've got 3 trig equations to solve now, but we know that cos theta just goes between minus 1 and plus 1, oscillates between minus 1 and plus 1. So it can't ever be 1.5. So that bit there has no solutions. We can ignore the cos theta being 3 over 2. The other two, cos theta is minus a half. If you want to do it on your calculator and do inverse cos of negative a half, your calculator is going to say, the question didn't want us to do it in radians, so your calculator will say 2 pi by 3, I think. We need to work out the second value. Chips and stinky turnips, maybe. So we're going to write these on here. We've just got, it's cos and it was negative, so it's going to be in there and there. Our calculator's just told us 2 pi by 3, which would make that angle there 2 pi by 3, and that angle there 2 pi by 3. We're supposed to be looking between 0 and 2 pi, I think it said. Yes, it did. So as we measure this round, we've got 2 pi by 3, and that angle would be 1, 2, 3, 4 pi by 3. So the second value is 4 pi by 3. This one, cos theta is minus 1. Our calculator will tell us a value, which isn't desperately... Oh, it is, it gives us a nice value, doesn't it? Calculator, I think, will just say pi on that. And we know the cos graph doing that, it's minus 1 there at pi. That's the only time between 0 and 2 pi it gives us a useful answer. So we've got 3 answers, that's all. And it's neat to write them in ascending order at the very end. And there we go, 3 and no extra values there. Good. Not particularly horrible question, it was just quite long and lots going on, lots of marks. Great. Maths.